All right, what's up, Marcus? So we are in your kitchen,
Yes.
and you delightfully invited me to your kitchen.
Yeah.
It's gonna be my
Welcome to my
place
home.
or your place. So
Right.
I'm trying something different because I love obviously video, and I like to talk to my friends and I like to have a beer with my friends.
Right.
But my podcast is usually early in the morning, so I'm sipping on coffee.
Yeah.
I want to have beer.
Yeah.
And I like food. So
Right.
this is the part where I'm integrating a little bit of everything. And you were also a guest on my last podcast, but you also have a restaurant. So touch on the restaurant part.
Okay, well, I've got La Pesca. It's in Edinburgh on 107, seafood, Mexican style seafood. We do fried fish and all that stuff, but we've got a lot more than that. We've got a lot of sauces, ají sauce and habanero sauce and mojo de ajo, and all kinds of sauces that we could do on grilled fish and shrimp. It's really, really good. Fish chicharrones, oh my gosh.
I love those.
Man, we sell a ton of
Those
those.
are my favorites.
But really our number one selling plate is the fish tacos.
Nice. Talk to us what you're going to cook today, dude.
Okay, so we're not gonna, you probably thought I was gonna do some kind of fish, right?
I was like, yeah, it's not going to Marcus's place to cook something
Here's the thing
nasty and greasy.
Yeah. Well, here's something about fish, right? It stinks up the house. So I was gonna.
Yeah.
It's my house. I don't want to stink it up. So we're gonna do some Italian meatballs. We're gonna do some sliced tomatoes, with feta cheese on top, and then we'll do some sautéed asparagus and zucchini with some portobello mushrooms.
Nice.
It'll be a nice healthy dinner. It's there's not a lot of carbs in it. Not that I worry a lot about that, but
Yeah.
people out there do like the keto diet and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So let's get this started.
All right, man, let's go.
But before we do, we need a beer. All right, so obviously this is, I don't know which one you want.
I'll just take this one.
So these are from Big River Brewery,
All
which
right.
is here in McAllen. So actually it's far.
Far,
back.
yeah.
So there you go, cool.
All right.
Let's cheers this off, man. Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Cheers. Blonde ale, nice.
This is good.
All right. It's always good to have a beer or a glass of wine
While
when
you're
you're cooking. Yeah.
I agree.
Not hard liquor until after the meal.
It's after the meal.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this started.
Okay, so what we're doing is I like to prep all my vegetables first, right? And so I've already got some zucchini cut, and I've got garlic and shallots already diced. I've got the portobello mushrooms already sliced, and now I'm working on the asparagus. So asparagus has a natural break. If you try to eat this, it's like eating a tree. It's very dense, very fibrous, doesn't have a lot of flavor. This is the good stuff here.
Are you one of those people that can just jump in your fridge and jump in your pantry and make anything?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, my wife hates me for that. I can look in
Yeah.
I can look anywhere and just make something.
Yeah. So what we did here is you want your vegetables about the same size, right? So it's going to take the asparagus a little bit longer to cook. So I made the zucchini a little bit bigger so it would kind of even out the cook time.
Got you. Okay.
Okay. Because if not, if you try to make the zucchini like that size, you're just going to have mush.
So one of the things that we never got to talk about was
Okay.
I love business. I can
Yes,
talk about
absolutely.
business
Yeah.
and social media all day long. So one of the things that we wanted to talk about on last podcast was business relationships.
Yeah.
So I know people that I've just kept in contact with for years and years, and we might not do any business right now, but maybe sometime down the line we will.
Absolutely.
And I really believe business relationships and actually having people skills is probably one of the best things you can have as a skill for business.
Uh-huh.
So you wanted to talk about that last time.
Yeah, you never know in life who's going to be important. I was reading an article one time and it was talking about that. And it was talking about what if you were the only guy or girl in school that was nice and friendly to a fat, not too attractive little black girl.
Yeah.
And then that little black girl grew up to be Oprah Winfrey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that always stuck in my head. So I value relationships, and everybody I meet, I take it as, hey, maybe they're in my life to help me somewhere down the line, or me to help them.
Right.
And
Vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how I try to treat people. I'm in business with a guy that I grew up across the street from. I mean, we've done several things together.
Yeah.
And we've been friends since we were like 6 years old.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to work with people that you know really well too, isn't it? Like on the other side of the spectrum.
Yeah, because one, you don't want to disappoint them.
Right.
Two, you know their faults, and they know your faults.
Yeah.
You know, and they know your buttons, and you know their buttons. You know, and all that kind of stuff. But in this case, he spent a lot of time away at boarding school.
Okay.
You know, and then we didn't go to college together at all, and we kind of separated for several years, and then we kind of, you know, have come back together.
Yeah.
So it's been a good deal.
So why Mexican food?
Why Mexican seafood?
Yeah, why Mexican?
Because that's the only guy who would sell me a restaurant. That's the honest truth.
Yeah.
I almost bought and I won't tell you where or what, but I almost bought a barbecue place. I had an investor, and we're looking at different restaurants, and we're at the negotiating table, and he comes to me, and I could tell by the look in his eyes it was done, it was over, right?
Yeah.
But he said, I can't help you because my own son needs a big cash infusion in his business, and I got to help my family first.
Right.
Well, totally understood it,
Yeah.
right? But talking about relationships, I built a relationship with this guy. I bought my first house from him.
Okay.
No money down, right? He financed it, and when it came time to buy this house, he lent me the down payment for this house until I could sell the house that I was buying from him. And I came to him, you know, with 2 big checks, and we, you know, kind of formed a bond there. You know what I mean? So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, so you just finished cutting tomatoes.
Okay,
what else you got?
All right. So
Do you need any help on my end? Or am I just a designated drinker today?
yes, you're the designated drinker.
You know, I can't cook, by the way, too. I grew up in a Dairy Queen.
That's right. So so what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna get some of this spray.
It's good stuff.
I'm gonna get some celery salt. Celery salt's not too salty, but it does have some good flavor, and I'm gonna sprinkle that on there because we're gonna put feta cheese on top of these, right? So
That celery salt goes really good with micheladas.
yes, it does.
But later, Marcus is actually gonna cook some what I call munchy food, and he's gonna surprise us with that too. So
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, so thanks for the text, you know, at midnight, saying, hey man, I also want you to do this. And I'm like, okay, Josh, no problem. Just to give a little bit, it's real aromatic and it softens that sharp feta.
That already looks pretty. It's just the cheese and the tomato, man.
Yeah, it's very simple. People love it. I can't stand tomato, but people love it. So I'm gonna put this in the fridge. It's done, and then we'll pull it out later.
So the goal of like what I try to do with content is I always try to get people to do content. Like that, hands down, I think content is king, and of course advertising is the extra stuff. But content like this, even if it's unedited, people will still watch it because it's just something different.
Something different.
Everybody's watching Netflix or something, right?
Right.
Everybody gravitates towards something, and I know people like niche, like kind of things like this. Cultural, I really push it for everybody to have something like this. And you don't need fancy stuff. Like I have lights and stuff and things like this, but it wasn't very expensive. Like the to be able to get into something like this, the cost is so low versus like starting a brand new business somewhere, like a brick and mortar stuff. But like you can make money off of this stuff down the line. And I know a lot of people that do that stuff. And I think it's super important that there's so many creative people here in the Rio Grande Valley.
There are, man. You know what? There are, and it's funny you say that because when we moved here, we moved here when my son's 22 years ago. Who knew that this was going to be the thing that propelled my son into college and stuff like that?
So touch on that. Touch on what your son does.
Okay, he works for Nissan.
Okay.
At the North American headquarters in Nashville, and he's in the advertising department now. He's going to be doing social media for them.
Nice.
So
this is for Toyota, or for
Nissan.
Nissan. There you go.
Don't mix up the two, dude. they're outside of Nashville in Franklin. Beautiful building. You know, the running tracks and the gyms and the, you know, just like you see on TV, big corporate office. You know, just it's a really, really nice place. So he got interested in doing film, and he got into KMAC, which is it's a McAllen TV station.
Okay.
For the high schools, right? And he quit playing football after his sophomore year. He goes, Dad, I'm not going to be a professional football player, but this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. So I'm, okay, go for it. And he ended up going all over the country and competing. He won some titles, you know. And oddly enough, McAllen was one of the best places in the country for kids to learn about this. So when they'd get off the bus, right, at these competitions, at these high school competitions, oh man, there's McAllen, dude. There's
really?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, so it was them, the team out of Hawaii, and team from California. One of the teams from California, not Hollywood, but what are the? And they were like, oh, you're from K-Mac, dude. Oh wow,
that's awesome. So
yeah,
they built up a reputation.
Yeah, and so that's what got him like into the advertising program at UT, and then you know the rest is history.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're mixing beef with turkey?
Pork.
Okay.
So, all right. So let's talk about this for a minute. Everybody wants 90-10 beef. That means 90% meat, 10% fat. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good if you like eating cardboard, right? If you want it dry. So this is actually 75-25. 75% beef, 25% fat, and then this is 80-20.
Okay. So why do you mix the pork and the beef?
It's the way Italians do it, man. They do the meatballs. So there's going to be sufficient fat content in this, so it's not going to dry out.
Okay.
Once you cook it, right? All right. So what we're going to do is kind of make a little bowl here. So then the bowl is to catch the eggs.
Gotcha.
Okay. So this is about 2 pounds. So the rule is 1 egg per pound.
Okay.
And then 1 tight fist per pound. Now my hand's bigger than most, right? So I just go with 1.
Okay.
All right.
All right, what do we got going on here?
All right. First you have some beer.
First beer.
All right. Now we're gonna mix this up. So if it's too wet, then we'll add more
breadcrumbs.
More breadcrumbs. I think it's gonna be okay once we're. One time I was making a bunch of meatballs for some people that were gonna come over, and my son was here when he was in high school with his girlfriend. It was about 11 o'clock at night, and because I was doing it after work, right? Mm-hmm. His girlfriend goes, Josh, why is your dad making meatballs at 11 o'clock at night? And he goes, well, what time would you ever make meatballs? She goes, like at 5 or 6 in the afternoon, like normal people.
Yeah, I haven't cooked as much as I'd like to. Like when I was growing up in Derrickton, like I would literally cook every night. So I grew up there when my dad, I know I was there since I was like 3.
Right.
My dad will say 6, but I know for a fact, like I lived there. Like I had no weekends.
Yeah.
So instead of watching cartoons, that's where I would be is when I was a super young kid. Yeah. So it was like, I think that's what gave me my drive to work. Like I like working. I know a lot of people don't. I think a lot of people think it's a bad thing that you like to work, but I don't know. Well, I like to work.
You know, we were watching football one Sunday, which was a rare thing for me and my dad to do because he was always working. Yeah. Right. He was a workaholic. He is a workaholic. He's going to turn 80 this Saturday, and he works every day. Yeah. But
do you think it's a bad thing?
No. And I remember it was a beer commercial. It sounds like it was a Budweiser commercial, but I can't remember. But it was like, there's those people who live to work, but for the rest of us who work to live, this Bud's for you, or something like that, right? I remember him turning to me and tell me, you better live to work. And that's kind of always stuck in my head.
Yeah. So, what's the strangest seafood that you've eaten? Because I know one time I filmed you and we ate fish roe. But I have a feeling that that's not the craziest thing that you've eaten.
No, so when I worked for U.S. Food Service, this is how I got to know Chef Marcel, talking about relationships. He was going to do a benefit for something. I can't remember what it was. It was a long time ago. And at U.S. Food Service at that time, they had a program where I could have fresh stuff flown in. So I had ahi tuna, man, AAA, bright red, flown in 2 days from Hawaii. 2 days ago, it's swimming in Hawaii. Next day, it's at Bistro M.
Damn.
2 days later, it's at Bistro M. Yeah. Same thing with King Salmon. That was one day, though. That was yesterday, and it's here today.
Wow.
So, he was doing this wine pairing and all this stuff. So I had some live sea urchins flown in for him.
Live sea urchins.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've had it once and it tasted like the bottom of the sea.
Yeah, but
I think I saw it on the cooking show with who was it? Andrew Zimmerman. He's like, this is amazing. So I had to try it. I think it was at Hibachi. And I tried it there and it just tasted like a booger from the bottom of the sea. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it tasted like.
Yeah. So, but it was interesting. It was cool. We had not me, but another salesman had live lobster flown in.
Okay.
So it's wrapped in seaweed.
Okay.
And it was kind of like in a state of hibernation or whatever. But when you unwrap the seaweed, it comes back to life and starts snapping and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. I'm gonna have some sauce. I can make my own sauce.
Okay.
I have before, but why reinvent the wheel? And this segment is brought to you by HEB.
I know. Hold it this way. That way when HEB wants to come on board, they can.
I use California Ranch. And the reason is I don't know if you know this, but there's a big problem in Italy with fake olive oil. Counterfeit olive oil.
Fake olive oil?
Counterfeit olive oil, yeah. The Italian equivalent of the FBI, whatever their FBI, actually has a food tasting department.
Really?
So they go into a big warehouse, they break open the olive oil to taste it, take them down. It's fake. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and they also do it with cheeses. So anyway, there was a big expose on this, and they showed kind of blurred, but not blurred enough, so you can still kind of tell. And some big names that people use, they're at HEB all over the place, were found to be counterfeit, man.
That's crazy.
So they said,
insane.
if you want to make sure that you're getting what you, this company, California Ranch.
So that fish roll that we had that one time was surprisingly good.
Yeah, it was surprisingly good. It was kind of like mollejas,
Yeah. I didn't think I'd enjoy it, but I will literally taste anything, at least once.
Yeah. How did we do it? Did we do it fried or did
it was pan fried.
Yeah.
Yeah, pan fried. It was really good.
Yeah, and so and all that is it's the sack of, it's not the individual fish eggs, it's the sack that's got all the eggs in it.
So how do you take that out?
Very carefully. Now, you open it up like you're gonna fillet the fish, and it's sitting there. It looks like a big tripa, you know what I mean? You just take it out and cut it.
And that's obviously a delicacy that people.
Yeah.
So now we're sauteing some veggies.
You smell that asparagus.
Oh yeah, it smells really good.
And it's kind of, you see the oil's kind of jumping around.
Yeah. How long are you gonna cook this for?
I don't know.
You feel it?
Yeah, just so you feel it. You don't want them super soft, but you don't want them super hard. So, mushrooms, and if you're not careful and your pan's not hot enough, everything's gonna get watery.
Okay.
All of this has a lot of water in it, right? So you want your pan to be a little hot, right? So it's about done. Ready to rock and roll. And then we've got the sportle, using the sportle that my wife gave me. And we're just gonna lift that up.
All right, let's try this.
It's all meant to complement each other, right? There you go.
Big ass bite.
Good?
I wasn't thinking I was gonna like the tomato.
Really?
Man, that's really good.
It's good stuff, huh?
That's some good stuff. A tomato, dude. I do not like tomatoes. That is really good. Excellent job, man. I gotta try this mushroom here. Because I'm not a fan of mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
So, vegetables.
Yeah. I didn't want to overwhelm the vegetables because I knew there was already going to be a lot of flavor in the meatball and the sauce and the feta cheese. And So we just make it kind of lightly flavored, right?
That's really good, dude. Awesome, man. Cheers to that.
All right, brother.
That's a good dish.
All right.
And it's keto friendly.
It's keto friendly.
Nice.
Maybe someone will say there's some sugar in the sauce, but you gotta live a little, man. Okay, so we're having a tattoo expo May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd next year, 2020. It's going to be at the McAllen Convention Center. There's been tattoo expos in the past, and they've been fine, but they haven't been on the level of, say, a San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, Galveston. And so Eric, over the years, man, he's exploded, and he's tattooed all over the place now, and he's built relationships. We're talking about relationships, right? With tattoo artists in different parts of the country, in different parts of Texas, and we've already got verbal commitments of some dude out of this world. Tattoo artists. And so what we're trying to do is bring a level of art to the Valley, tattoo art that has never been seen here. You know, there's some great artists here in the Valley, don't get me wrong, but we're gonna bring some guys that are just next level, you know.
Yeah, Eric's one of those guys that I've always said that when I get my next tattoo, because I know tattoos are you have to like spend good money to get good quality.
Yes, you're gonna get what you pay for, period.
Exactly. So it's him and some other dude that I follow on Instagram, and Eric's like, he's amazing, dude, but he's booked.
Yes, he's booked. So if you follow on Instagram, he'll have a date. A book's now open.
Yeah.
And so now he does all his booking by email. Okay, because it used to be people would come, dude. If it was Saturday the 1st or whatever, they would come, there'd be a line.
Damn.
And people would wait 3 hours to talk to him.
Damn.
You know?
Franklin barbecue.
Yeah, dude, yes. And so what would happen, unfortunately, is sometimes he would feel bad and he would not overbook, that's not the right word, maybe do some stuff he really didn't want to do because someone waited 3 hours. How are you going to say no? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So now he can be selective. Right. You know, he can see what he wants to do and
I think that comes with a skill level too, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, obviously you're refining your craft and your skill level. It's like, all right, I can't take on everybody.
Right.
Now you can be choosing.
Right.
And I think that's one of the important things that a lot of people don't understand is like some people can read from a book and learn. Some people can watch a video and learn.
Right.
Some people can listen to something and learn. I am super visual. That's why I sucked in school. Like it's and like I get it now. Like it took me many years to understand that visually, that's how I learn.
Right.
And I've been able to profit off visually learning throughout the years. But I think a lot of schools, for example, don't understand.
They don't get that, man. You know, I've got a cousin that's dyslexic, and he makes a lot of money now. But he barely got out of high school. But because back in those days, he's a little bit older than me, they didn't understand dyslexia, you know, and even when he was a little kid, I guess he would look at the ceiling because it was blank, because everything on the chalkboard was a jumble, right? It was all jumbled up to him. So he would look at the ceiling to get it straight in his head, right? And they'd come by with a switch, man, and hit his calves. What are you looking at the ceiling for? There's no answers up there. All the work's on the board. Stop daydreaming. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, you know, he made it through school. It was very difficult. Yeah. Didn't go to college because he couldn't. I mean, but he's done very, very well for himself.
So what do you think about that? Do you think people have to go to college to be able to pursue what they want to in life?
No. Well, it depends on what you want to do. I mean, if you want to be a doctor, you got to go to school. Right? But I think there's enough opportunity now in the content world, you know, what you're doing, and then all the little offshoots of what you're doing. You know, when you get big enough, you're going to have to hire light guys or camera guys or whatever, and those guys are eventually going to move on and go do their things. Yeah. So content right now in this age is everything. Mm-hmm. You know that. And so I think this is a golden time for people to pursue their dreams in that and not have to spend $80,000 on college. I do.
Right. No, it's because people are coming with college debt like crazy, man. That lingers like forever.
But times have changed. Like you'll never convince my dad of that. He's going to be 80. I told you. But he grew up really poor in Brownsville. He didn't know anything about anything. Yeah. You know, the only thing he knew was his neighborhood, right? In shining shoes and hard work and, you know, that kind of stuff. And so for him, going to college was opening his mind to everything in the world. You know, it was opening his mind to society and to manners and to rules and to literature and to concepts and ideas. You know, after college, he's a grinder, right? We talked about. He worked on his master's and his undergraduate at the same time, and then he went to Brockport, New York, with my mom, where he was a professor. Right, that's where I was born, and so then he said, "Now I want to go to law school." So we go to Durham, North Carolina, to go to law school. Why? I don't know. You got to ask him. But then after that, he tells my mom, "I think I want a philosophy major." A philosophy degree. My mom's like, "Oh my God, we're gonna starve forever, man." but he didn't do that. He ended up starting his practice. But so for someone like that, an education was worth every penny. Well, he went on a scholarship also, but it was worth the time and the effort because he didn't know anything about anything. Right. But now with the internet and with, you know, you can learn about anything. So it's different. I think times have changed.
And that's because the lifespan of your father to you, to me, to my kids, it's
right.
not even that long.
No.
Like all of that's happened and it's shrunk down super fast.
Super fast. You know, my grandfather got carried across as a baby. He's probably the original dreamer, you know, as a baby. And so he's watched this country, that was like in 1904, go through World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Korea, man on the moon, cell phones, you know, and he finally passed away. But can you imagine all that he saw in a lifespan, just time moving? But we're seeing things even faster now.
What is this called? Meatballs, tomatoes? What is this? Just
I don't know what it's called. It's meatballs and it's tomatoes with olive oil, celery, salt, and feta cheese and basil. And then vegetables that are sautéed in olive oil with some thyme and some salt and pepper and
obviously it's really good because I don't eat tomatoes and I ate the whole damn thing. I think I ate even more. So now what I challenged Marcus to is
at midnight, by the way.
Munchie meal. So show us what you got with this.
Okay, so what I was thinking is, we always have leftovers because we're empty nesters now, right? So there's not kids coming in at all hours of the night eating stuff. You know, Josh and his friends used to come just tear everything up, right? But now we don't. So I'm thinking, okay, I had this good meal. We get dressed, we go out, we have a few drinks, maybe a few too many, you know, and then we come back and all of a sudden you got the munchies. Now, obviously, you're not so drunk that you had to stop at Stripes and get a burrito, right?
Or whatever.
So you're not too messed up. So you have some cognition about you, and you continue to drink. So you pop it open the beer, and you look through the pantry. You're like, dude, I've got pita chips. Yeah, these are Parmesan garlic and herb. Okay. All right. Got some mozzarella cheese, right? Then. Careful at 2:30 in the morning when you've had a little bit to drink. You know, if anything, if you're gonna, you know, hold your fingers in like that so you don't.
That's a culinary
trick. Huh? Yeah. Pita chips, garlic and herb pita chips, some mozzarella cheese, and some leftover meatballs. Right. That's only the beginning. These are gonna be really, really good. Okay, so. So screw it. We're just gonna put it in the microwave.
Let's do it.
Now, no matter how much I've been drinking, I know that I have to put this on top or my wife will kill me.
So before we finish out the show, just to let everybody know where they can find you.
524 West University. We're right on 107, right over the railroad tracks if you're going from the university towards the courthouse. It's an old house. We've got a lot of cool things on the menu. Yes, we have fried fish. Yes, we have fried shrimp, but so does everybody else. But we have some really cool things. The fish tacos are really good. The shrimp molcajete is very, very good. There's some nice sauces that we have. So come give us a try. It'll be something different for you. And then if you're looking for a good tattoo, 5723 North 10th Street, Suite 150 and 160, right across from Lowe's and the Wing Barn and all that stuff, right across the street in the Plaza the video.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
That means your kitchen again.
No, absolutely.
And we've been
Hey, man,
friends for a while too. So.
all you had to do was say, hey, I'm bringing beer.
Oops. Marcus, thank you, bro.
Oh, man. Thank you.
Ooh. Wow.
Oh, man, that's good. Isn't that good? Wow.
Midnight munchies.
Yeah.
Leftovers.
Boom. I'm back to
the bloopers, man.
No, I'm playing the part. I'm playing the 2:30 in the morning part.
All right, guys. Cheers.
Cheers, brother. All right.